Hello, everyone. I am Fozzie or Cam, and welcome to the Everything Podcast. I'm here pretty much as always with my co-host Will. How you doing today, Will?
Doing outstanding, Cam. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. So, we have quite the agenda today, and this will probably end up being a two-part episode. Um, Mainly because of Zoom's pesky time limit thing. Zoom is quite annoying. Um, so yeah, today we're gonna be talking about a bunch of cool things. I'll list off a few to you guys. I won't go into all of them, but I want to talk about the name of our new show, which we talked about last podcast. We have a new name. Um, it will be called the Everything Music Show. Um, Forrest Hill and John Kavanaugh. It'll be fantastic. First episode, Saturday, August 13th. Correct?
Yep. Forrest will have one. Yep, this Saturday, everybody.
Yes, and he will be performing the song Million Miles, and I'll be telling us a little bit about it. Definitely go check the studio recording of Million Miles so you can kind of have some reference to what he's performing. And definitely check out some of his music. And when John comes on, we'll talk about John even more as well because he is also fantastic. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited for a new show. Well, I think it's going to be a great addition to the Everything podcast.
Yeah, I think it will be too. And again, everybody, what grinds my gears with Todd is still here. It's just a special now because he hasn't been consistent with making videos. So we've got this for you for some more consistent content every Saturday.
Yes, yes, and I'm just so excited to do this episode because we have so many awesome topics to talk about. Um, so yeah, let's get right into it. I wanted to talk about Nope, and I love this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was one of the best movies we've had all year. It might actually be my favorite movie of the year. It did everything for me. I mean, it had horror, it had action, it had sci-fi, it had comedy. Literally every genre that I love, it had in it. And Will, I know you saw it. I know you saw it the other day, and you liked it. You didn't love it.
I did, yeah, no, but I did like it. I would give it maybe an 8 out of 10. You said you would give it a 9 out of 10. I found it a very fascinating movie. I read an article from The Ringer today that was talking about how one of the like compelling pieces about the movie is there's not like an exact thing about like what the movie is about, but I did enjoy it. Thought it was a fascinating film personally.
Yeah, and well, we're gonna get into spoilers because it's been out for long enough. I feel like it's fine to take
Yeah, came
spoilers.
out last month and now we're into August 10th here.
Yeah. So I thought that whole subplot with the monkey was just awesome. I mean that is pure cinema right there. That is it did everything. It was perfect.
Yeah,
And
that was cool. I agree.
so I really want to know why did you not love this movie? Because for me I loved it. I really want to know.
Um, I would say that just because it was a bit slower at times, I would say like slower pace films aren't quite my favorite yet. So
But
I
then
would
again,
say,
you don't love fast paced movies. Example being Avengers: Age of Ultron.
well, I mean, I don't want them to be too fast. Maybe like
I get it. Yeah, I totally
a
get it.
nice blend, if you know what I'm saying.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And
What was like your favorite thing about the movie? Oh, well, just that it had everything that you want.
it had everything that I wanted. All the characters, every single one of the characters in this movie were outstanding, beautifully acted. I mean, I'll
I did
actually
think the acting was fantastic. I agree with you on that.
Kiki Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya specifically. I thought were so good, and I'll actually be coming out with a separate video essay that I'm working on a script for right now, and
Yeah.
I'll be
And will that be a part of the only movie show?
It will.
Awesome.
I'll be diving really deep into the making. Well, not exactly like that. I'll be diving deep into the movie, um, really talking about it, getting to the nitty gritty details. Um, a podcast I highly recommend listening to if you want to check out a really if you want to listen to a really good breakdown of this movie. I listened to the Dead Meat podcast. They talked about Nope, and that podcast was fantastic. It really broke the movie down for me, and it really helped me work on this video yesterday and helped me really get down the facts that I needed, like how that shoe was just standing up. I mean that was fascinating. I mean, and they answered the questions I had about it.
That's cool. Yeah, well, I can't wait to hear that from you, Cam. And also, I know you've seen all of Jordan Peele's main films. So, where does this rank for you amongst them?
I would go. This is tough because I Get Out's one of my favorite movies of all time, and Us is a good movie. I know a lot of people hate it for some strange reason. It's definitely his most horror movie, and it is quite horrifying. But I'm gonna put Us in last. But people might get the impression that I don't like this movie, and that's actually not it at all. Um, I really like that movie, and yeah, I feel like it gets hated on way too much. It's a really good horror movie. Then I've been thinking about this since I saw the movie. I've because like I said, Get Out, one of my favorite movies, and then Nope, one my favorite movie of the year so far. I'm gonna have to go with Nope at second, just because Get Out's been out longer, and I think especially as someone's first film directing, producing Get Out. I mean, that's like amazing, and I'm just gonna have to put Nope at two and Get Out at one. But once again, I'm not saying the ones lower on this list. I'm not saying I don't like them. Obviously,
Of course.
in fact, I love them. So
I mean,
don't get the wrong idea.
that's just what happens when you make a list. Like, if there's a bunch of movies and you enjoyed them
And
all, some have to be
yeah, of course.
lower on the
And
list, but it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy them.
he only has three movies that he's directed, and
Right.
he's been producing a lot of movies as well. Um,
Have you seen any of those?
the Candyman movie I know he produced. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's really good. I'm gonna have to check it out soon. The new Candyman movie, 2021. Um, I honestly didn't know much about it before I actually went and saw it. Well, before I looked it up on Google and stuff. Um, yeah, I learned a lot about it actually. It seems to be kind of a racial commentary movie,
Oh,
and
okay.
I know from the original movies that's not really what it is. So I thought it was a cool thing, and I think that's really what Jordan Peele does. He really racial commentary. I mean, that's a big subplot of his movies, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check out the 2021 Candyman movie, and I'm gonna have to do it sooner than later.
Yeah. And you're 8 or you're 9 out of 10 for Nope, right, Kim?
Yes, 8.5. We'll give it.
8.5. Okay. Awesome.
All right. Let's see next. Oh, sorry. Um, NFL preseason has started. I mean, I'm pretty excited. How are you? How are you feeling about this, Will?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, anytime the NFL season's back, that's an extremely exciting time of the year because I mean, it's really America's favorite sport. Although I would go with basketball. I do love the sport of football in the NFL, very much so. But not to make this all about the Patriots, but what have your thoughts been, Cam, on the reports of the offense's struggles during training camp? Are you concerned, or are you just like it takes time to grow?
It takes time to grow. I mean, we have a relatively young team this year. I mean, we have a second year quarterback. I think that's to be expected, to be honest with you. And I think we are going to make the playoffs. I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to get in the Super Bowl.
I'm thinking
Um,
of the Pats as a wild card team this year. How
I
about you, Kim?
totally, yeah,
I would say like divisional rounds would be the farthest they would go as I look at this roster right now.
yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah, I feel like I feel like this is going to be a bridge year for them. They really need to up their game here. They need to focus on improving their offense. They need to try to get these young players incorporated, try to make them feel comfortable in their offense, and try to get Mac Jones to get even more comfortable playing as their star quarterback. I mean, I feel like Mac Jones is just an absolute beast right now. I mean, he's in really good shape right now, better than best shape he's ever been in, and I think physically, I mean, he's ready. I mean, he's in the best shape of his life, and I think it'll take time, obviously, but eventually, after this bridge year, we'll have a really good offense.
Well, I obviously love what I'm hearing about Mac Jones and him taking more command of the offense and being in the best shape of his life. I couldn't ask to hear anything more about that from him. And I think I'm with you right now on how it takes time to grow. And I think I'll really start to like, let me see this offense in game action. And then I'll really start to judge and see how concerned I am because they've got 3 preseason games and like a whole more month to figure this out before their first game against the Dolphins in September.
Totally, yeah. And now I wanted to talk about Stranger Things.
Boy,
Whoo! All right.
masterpiece. Where do we even begin?
So we were gonna do a whole episode on Stranger Things, but I feel like I feel like we have just so much to talk about right now. It'd be kind of tough to just make one episode dedicated on one thing. So we're gonna make this shorter than we would have, but we're still gonna touch on things we want to touch on. We'll just brush by each season and kind of talk about it. Season 1, I think, is the third best season. I love Hopper. I think this is Hopper at his best. I think Hopper is my favorite character for season 4. Um, and I think Millie, but all these actors are so young in this, and this,
And they're so fantastic, and I'm just so impressed with the whole cast of the show.
and it's crazy that most of the cast in season 1 are actually playing their age. Now, I mean, Millie Bobby Brown's 18, and she's playing a 15 or 14-year-old. So things have gotten quite out of hand when it comes to the time jumps with the actors and the characters. Um, but season 1, they're actually mostly playing their age, and I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like you definitely needed that. And standout child actor for me is probably Millie Bobby Brown. I'm still gonna go with David Harbour as my favorite actor of this season, my favorite performance. But Millie Bobby Brown was just fantastic, especially as a young actor.
Millie Bobby Brown is always fantastic. I mean, I think it's the way I think this has to do with like the way her character is written. I think it gives her the chance to give such stunning performances every season. But I mean, I do think, she is the best actor for the whole show. But season 1, just with Will disappearing, I was so impressed with Winona Ryder's performance in
Oh yeah,
season 1. I mean, such a believable, panicked mom when she would get into her things like, you could call me crazy, but I know that my son is still out there. Will, hold on. I am coming. I will be right there. Just the panic that she displayed over her son disappearing. I just thought it was a stunning performance on her part in season 1.
stunning is right. It blew me away, and I'm gonna give season 2 to Winona. Um, I think that's just a small step up from season 1. And once again, not saying any of her performances are bad in this show.
Well, I would go with season 1 for her because I feel like that's when they gave her character the most to do.
Yes, but My reasoning here is when I watched season 1, she actually, before I kind of got to know her, I thought she was just insane.
Okay.
But then I got to know her, and then I realized she's just a good mother. So, and I feel like after thinking about this for a while, I feel like any reasonable mother would do the same.
I mean, think about that. Your son, someone that you gave birth to, has disappeared. I mean, that's every mother's worst nightmare. And that's what blew me away about her performance.
Yeah, and like I said, season 2 is Winona. Um, so yeah, let's talk season 2 for a little bit. I think it's the weakest season. Not it has one incredibly weak episode. I'm sure we all know what we're talking about there.
But every other episode besides that episode, I think is fantastic.
Especially the finale. I love the finale.
Oh, fantastic, and great how they ended with the whole snowball and stuff. Like that was really fun and cool.
And the snowball plays a moderately big part in the finale of season 4.
That's always cool when like a show is able to like go back to something like that.
Yeah, it's cool when they reference their own show, you know. Um, but season 2, obviously the dumb lost sister episode, whatever it was, I didn't like it. We got introduced to an awesome character, Sean Astin as Bob.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah, and he was just fantastic. And honestly, I hated. I was confused on him first. I mean, when I first saw him in season 2, I thought he was a spy.
Mm.
I thought he was evil, but then I found out he was just a really really nice guy.
Just a nice, just enjoyable, just funny man. He was so awesome, and rest in peace to his character.
Yeah, and season 2, we also get introduced to my favorite character, Max. Max
Oh, but
Max's story, especially in season 4, is just fantastic.
season 4 was Max's defining season, I would say, just in terms of what they did
And
with her.
even before I watched season 4, she was still in my top 3 list of characters. But season 4 put her at number 1. Her performance was fantastic, and her character is just awesome. And that Kate Bush song being her driving arc is just fantastic.
Yeah, so fantastic. And before we brush past season 2, let's not brush past Will in season 2, because
I
thought the whole season 2 really revolved around him and him being taken over by the Mind Flayer. And I thought Noah Schnapp's performance in season 2 with what Will was going through was just so fantastic. I had him as best actor of season 2 because of stuff that his character had to go through and the emotion that he displayed. So Will in season 2 and Noah Schnapp's performance was one of my favorite things of this show.
All right, so I wanted to talk about I wanted to split these apart. I want to put 2 different categories: the young actors, Finn Wolfhard, Noah Schnapp, Millie Bobby Brown, Gaten Matarazzo, Caleb McLaughlin, Sadie Sink, and oh boy, I forget who plays Erica Sinclair, and I apologize.
Is it Priya Ferguson, I believe?
That's exactly who it is. And then I want to split up the older actors, Joe Keery, Charlie Heaton, David Harbour, Winona Ryder, into their own category. So
Natalia Dyer as
Natalia
well,
Dyer,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
So and Billy, yeah. And who do you know who plays Billy?
I do not. I'll try and get that for you.
All right, thank you. I've memorized most of the actors' names except for
Decree Montgomery plays Billy.
All right, thank you.
And we have Murray as well, played by Brett Gelman.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot about Murray.
No one gets me laughing like him. He's phenomenal.
He really
phenomenal.
Is.
Also, I guess big in season 4, Matthew Modine as Dr. Martin Brenner, just an astounding performance.
Yeah, so for season 2, adult performance gets Winona. for a child performance or young actor goes to Noah Schnapp. Season 3, my second favorite season. Um, it's fantastic. My favorite adult or older actor is Joe Keery, Steve Harrington. I thought he was just fantastic. And my favorite young actor, I'm gonna have to go with Millie Bobby Brown here.
I'll go with Millie Bobby Brown for season 3 as well because her character again had a lot to do. And even though I didn't think this was his character's best season, just from a kindness standpoint and stuff, David Harbour really stuck out to me in season 3.
Oh,
I thought he was on top of his game, even though his character I did not think was on top of his game.
Yeah, you're right. And I like the whole mayor. I like the mayor. I'm not sure who played him. I feel bad for that, but he was fantastic. And yeah, I really like season 3. It's definitely one of my favorites. And
they start off as more of a comedy as well, which was a really creative twist on the show's part.
Yeah, the first episode of season 3 is one of my favorite episodes in the entire series, believe it or not.
Well, it's, always cool when you can just kind of zero in on the characters more like that.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I don't think we're going to have much of that in season 5, but it's always fun when they do that. All right, now season 4.
Epic season.
Oh my gosh, best adult actor. I'm debating between Brett Gelman and Matthew Modine. Because Murray is fantastic.
Murray is incredible. I think I might go to Matthew Modine here just because of how much Papa is just and the Dr. Martin Brenner character are a part of the story in season 4. So I'll go slightly to Matthew Modine, but the whole thing about Murray and his karate and stuff was unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, he's great. I'm gonna have to go with Matthew Modine.
The whole Russia trip and them pulling that off is owed to Murray. They would have never done that without him.
And it was my least favorite subplot in the season, but every time Murray was on the screen, I laughed, I smiled. It was
great. I just think maybe it was. I just think like you couldn't put it over some other things just because of how like compelling some of the other storylines were with like the Hawkins storyline and Vecna and everything and 11 and the comedic relief that the California group could give. So I just think it had to do with how amazing some of the other storylines
were. Yeah, of course.
That the Russia storyline couldn't be as high, but I still enjoyed it in large part thanks to Murray and just watching Hopper and seeing how he was surviving out there. That guy's a survivor. I mean, they'd be dragging him across the ice and he'd have no shoes on. I mean, my gosh.
Crazy. Vecna. Wow.
Jamie Campbell Bower, right? The actor. Just fantastic.
Fantastic is right. I really liked Jimmy Campbell, and I also forgot to mention Robin, great character.
Yeah.
I'd go with she's great in season 4, but for best young actor, Sadie Sink. There's no denying it. Like
for season 4.
Yes. If anyone challenges me, I will disagree with them.
What about Millie Bobby Brown for season 4? That's who I was actually thinking.
She gets season 3 for me. I'm trying to give I don't want to put the same actors twice.
Well, if you follow it from that standpoint, of course I would go Sadie Sink for season 4 if we're trying to split this up here.
And of course, not saying Millie Bobby Brown was bad. She was fantastic. But I just think considering this revolves around Sadie Sink's character Max, she deserves it,
Yeah, well, although they always need 11 in order to defeat, any of the villains. So her getting her power back was a major storyline of season 4 as well.
Well, if it weren't for her, Max wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
All right, so yeah, I think that covers it for Stranger Things.
Folks, you can check out Cam. You have a video on the Everything Podcast Shorts channel where you make some predictions about the characters that you think were going to lose in season 5. So I would encourage everybody to check that out.
Yes, and definitely subscribe to the Shorts channel, Everything Podcast Shorts.
We have the link to it in the description here on the Everything Podcast, and in the description of our last episode as well.
Yes. While we're promoting things, I have my own channel. I haven't promoted here in a while. Fozzie, definitely subscribe to that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and you have some new content as well, which is excellent, and I would recommend everybody to check out.
Yes, and I'm working on some new stuff right now, so definitely check it out.
Fantastic, yes.
All right.
Subscribe to Fozzie, absolutely.
Totally. All right. Next, I wanted to talk about Cobra Kai, Mike Barnes, and you made a short about that today.
Well, here is all I have to say about this, Cam. So I was excited, of course, for Cobra Kai season 5 because I love the show and I enjoyed the trailer, of course. But this was that month before the show thing I needed to spark my energy and get it to just the highest point that it could get to before season 5. I mean, I am so excited. I have such faith in Josh, John, and Hayden, just the writers of this show, that they will take Mike Barnes and make him one of the most compelling characters of the entire season. And the photo they put out of him, I found so compelling. Doesn't give you any lens of who he's gonna side with. The look on his face is so compelling. I'm so excited. It's gonna be riveting how they do this character.
Yeah, and I was trying to look at the background for some details, and it kind of looked like they blurred the background.
He just seems to be like in some house. Maybe it's his house or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see it. And day before my birthday it comes out, so I'm excited.
Oh yeah, that is such a great birthday gift for you, Cam. So yeah, no, I think the Cobra Kai season 5 will be as good as any because we're 4 seasons in and there's still just so much stuff that hasn't been resolved yet, and this show just keeps piquing my interest because of that, and that's what I love about it so much. And now we're bringing back a whole nother character, so why shouldn't my interest be as high as ever?
Totally. And I think it's just going to be fantastic. I think season 5 of Cobra Kai will be the best season. And that's kind of a hot take because I didn't love season 4. And I know a lot of people are thinking the show is going to go down in quality, but I think it's just going to go up.
Anybody who thinks it's going to go down in quality clearly hasn't been watching the show and seeing all the genius things that it does. I've loved every season equally as much, and I believe season 5 will be the same.
Of course. And that's where we're going to leave it off. Stay tuned for part 2.